Hey Kipsters, I hope you're having a great day. We're going to go ahead and look at colonization and decolonization in South and Southeast Asia. So just a quick reminder of colonization. We've already looked at this map before of what some of the region was taken over by the European countries and which parts they took over. Just a quick review, people colonize or take over other nations for many reasons, including more power and resources. One of these examples were the British, who were especially drawn to India because of their fabrics, spices, and teas. So the British took over India in order to gain their fabrics, spices, and teas. The colonizing countries also brought some of their own influence and left it in the country. For instance, the British left pieces of their culture in India. So even though they took the fabric, spices, and teas from India, they also brought over their own culture, whether it be music or art or the way that they dressed, and left it in India. This meant that there were some tricky relationships, though, in these colonizing countries. So most colonizing regions were not happy that another country was taking over. So most of the regions that were colonized were not happy about another country taking over their land. The countries started to fight back in one of two ways, either violently or non-violently. This process of a country gaining back their land was called decolonization. We're going to take a look at two examples, an example of both violent and non-violent decolonization, and see where those lead. Our first example is India. So Gandhi helps India non-violently. India felt that Britain had an unfair control and wanted to gain their independence back. So they didn't like that the British were controlling them, and they wanted their independence or to be able to control themselves. So Gandhi began to lead non-violent protests in order to reclaim India for British colonization. So he led non-violent, meaning that nobody got hurt, protests in order to reclaim India from British colonization. An example of a non-violent protest was called the Salt March, where he protested unfair British taxes on salt by marching to the sea to collect his own salt. So he led people walking down to the sea and collected his own salt in order to protest unfair British taxes. Because of Gandhi's belief in nonviolence, India was able to usher in the world's largest democracy after decolonization took place. So after decolonization, they were able to establish their own government, and it became a democracy. There are three big effects that Gandhi had on India. The first one was that his protest brought change and freedom to the people of India. The second one was that his life inspired people to stand for civil rights. And the third one was that he built schools and cleaned his community. So his protest brought change and freedom to the people of India. His life inspired people to stand for civil rights, or the rights of the people. And he built schools and cleaned his community, leaving three really big effects on India. Another example was Cambodia. So in Cambodia, they took a different route. They protested violently. In Cambodia, the fight against colonizing powers was violent. The Khmer Rouge were a group of Cambodians who fought violently against the colonizing powers using guerrilla warfare or surprise attacks. So instead of protesting nonviolently, they came in with guns in surprise attacks. The process of violent decolonization provided the opportunity for a new government to take control. So in India, democracy took control, but for Cambodia, decolonization was the opportunity for communism to control the land. An example of communism in the region is the Communist Party of Kampuchea, or the Khmer Rouge, that took control in the 1970s. The Khmer Rouge brought oppression to its people, including genocide, famine, and deaths from treatable diseases. So when they protested or fought back violently, they brought communism and genocide, or killing of mass amounts of people, famine or not enough food, and deaths from treatable diseases. These were the two types of legacies or things that they left behind. Thanks for listening, Kipsters. Make sure you finish your whole packet. Go back and fill in any notes that you need to, and have a great day.